Should be going. Oh, hey! We're live! Sorry for that technical difficulty there. We're blaming Google+. Welcome back, Droid Life Show, episode 24. I'm your host, Kellen. Other Droid Life team members here. We got Ron, Tim, and Dave tonight. Everybody say hi real quick.
Hey, how's it going, world?
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. So, I don't know if we should stall for a minute so that everyone can refresh and join or not, but a lot to talk about.
They're good.
What's that?
It automatically will go for them. They'll be fine.
Yeah, it should be. So, lots to talk about because Google I/O is a week away. A week from tonight, we will have already sat through a 3-hour keynote and been absolutely bombarded with everything that Google decided we needed to have, which we'll probably drool all over and say is the greatest thing known to man, all that good stuff. It's going to be awesome. So we got predictions, speculation, rumors, all that stuff we want to go through tonight. We've actually got AT&T version of Galaxy S4 now. Tim's done his HTC One review. We want to talk a little bit about those. We want to talk a lot about Google Glass and this sort of wave of coverage and in-your-faceness. I know that's not really a word. That's come because it's in developers' hands, and it just seems to be everywhere. And we want to know if you guys are feeling it, not feeling it, all that stuff. Some other things to get to, but first we want to make sure you guys know that we're giving away an LG Optimus G Pro, thanks to our friends at AT&T. It's a Mother's Day gift, although you could, assuming you win, you could probably just keep it if you want. That's till Friday, so you can get in on that now. We'll try to post a link to that at some point throughout the show. But anyways, just go to the site and search LG Optimus G Pro or find the little contest link. But yeah, you've got till Friday to enter to that, so make sure you do it. Well, let's talk Google I/O, shall we? It's
hey, real quick, I know I/O's big news, but I just want to say, it's Game 4 tonight of the Portland Winterhawks, and good luck to them. This is for the WHL Championship, so this is kind of a big deal.
Is that a Winterhawks jersey? Or is that even called a jersey? Is it called something like a kit? No, that's soccer.
No,
it's called in hockey.
It's definitely
is it called
a jersey.
Sweater? No, it's like a sweater, isn't it? Didn't they used to wear hockey sweaters back in the day?
This is still America, so I don't know what they call it up north. But
I think that's a hockey sweater.
No, I just call it a jersey. But either way.
Wait, so what game is it? Anyway.
Game 4 of the WHL Championship.
Go Winterhawks. Portland.
Yes. Sounds awesome.
It totally is.
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Everyone loves hockey, don't they? All right, Google I/O. So yesterday we ran through a post with sort of some predictions, some rumors that have floated through our inbox, things like that. The first one, Nexus Q. According to a source of ours, there is actually going to be a new Nexus Q. It's going to be sort of gaming focused. He wasn't necessarily certain if they're going to change the shape of it to be more cube-like. He just mentioned that when he was talking to us about it, that it could be cube-shaped rather than round. I personally hope they don't change the look of it. I love the look of the Nexus Q, but apparently there's a new one coming. It's going to be part of the keynote, but it's going to be focused around gaming, which probably means that gaming center that leaked a couple of weeks ago through that APK teardown is for sure coming. There's also sessions dedicated at I/O to gaming. I think gaming is going to be a pretty big focus. Not all that surprised, right? Anybody? Gaming?
Sort of a big deal. I mean, considering, I think the only one thing that I would want in terms of gaming is just where I can have cloud saves for all of my games and access that kind of type of like a game center that Apple has.
I don't. Yeah,
if I could have that, I'd be happy.
I don't think we have enough information on what exactly it is they're doing with this playground, if that's even the actual name for it.
Ignore that.
That's why it's I/O, man.
Ignore that fake playground press thing that was floating around. That was beyond fake.
Maybe we'll be looking at something similar to some of the other game services that are out there right now, that the ones that try to tie everything together with like achievements, like friends lists in a way, stuff like that. Maybe leaderboards for certain games as a way to kind of let all the games tie in and just have a more competitive nature. And obviously cloud saves would hopefully be a part of that if they want to do things right.
I think that's exactly what it is. Let me look back at that old post. I'm pretty sure there was, in-game chat, lobbies, leaderboards, achievements, all that stuff. So they're probably similar to services we've seen with who was that big one that didn't really make it just a couple years ago? I can't remember their names. There's like a few of them, but yeah, it sounds like that. Achievements, leaderboards, in chat's kind of cool, and I don't know. I think we're fully expecting that to happen. I can't imagine that gaming wouldn't. Actually, our guy said that one of the games could be called like Chrome Racer or something like that, and it's basically like everyone can pair their devices together playing the same game, and as you bring more like phones together to play, like the track gets harder and things like that. It was something weird like that. So anyway, look out for that.
I think it's a good idea for them to get this kind of movement behind it, and hopefully it'll tie in not just for Android, but hopefully with their Chrome apps as well. Like this will be a Google-wide initiative and not just Android-based, so that we'll see like a kind of a full ecosystem surrounding that. Probably even G+, Google Plus type games too.
Yeah, I think we're going to get games everywhere. We'll probably get more in Google Plus. Aren't there a few just simple little games, or there were at one time? I don't know if anyone ever played them. But yeah, Chrome seems like there were a few. So gaming, big deal. And then we're pretty sure it's going to be Android 4.3, right? I don't think anyone thinks we're actually getting 5.0, and it's probably still going to be Jelly Bean, not Key Lime Pie.
I don't know why we necessarily have to think it's going to be Jelly Bean still. I think that would kind of suck, to be honest.
Well, I mean, people have been pulling logs, though, that show the build numbers that are still following the same letter schematic.
Right.
Still start with J, yeah.
Still start with J. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I guess it's just disappointing is what I'm trying to say. It's like, I'll take whatever they give me. I mean, throw me a freaking bone here. But
I think it's a wiser move on their part. Instead of trying to label it as something new, if they're not really doing a full face change or like some really deep, hardcore adjustment to like a core feature. Like if this is just more like add-ons, more polish, and other features that tie stuff together, I think it's better to stick to the Jelly Bean moniker and save Key Lime Pie for whatever the really next big stage is, which none of us probably can fathom what it is.
Oh, can't even fathom it, Dave. No, I am totally cool with that. Like I said, I'm cool with it still being Jelly Bean. Like I say, I'm just a little disappointed that I still have to call it Jelly Bean. But that's fine.
I think we were spoiled for a while though, because it went from
2.0 to 2.1, Froyo Eclair, and then from Eclair to Froyo, from 2.1 to 2.2, and then 2.2 to 2.3 was huge, from to Gingerbread. And so I mean, there's been big changes. Gingerbread was huge. I mean,
it was. I think we got so many big updates because it was such an early. Young operating system that we got so many big changes so quickly, though they kept changing the name, and so now we're just expecting it to be a like brand new everything name change, and I don't know anymore. It's become a mature enough operating system, I think, that I don't know if that's realistic anymore to expect that. But I'm kind of with you. It's always nice to like get a new logo.
Yeah, exactly. It's something fun, Yeah, I mean, as someone just pointed out in the chat, I mean, 4.1 Jelly Bean, 4.2 Jelly Bean, 4.3 Jelly Bean. It's just kind of like, I guess, it's just boring to me. I don't know. I'm just ready for something new. I feel like an iOS guy is just like, the same thing over and over again.
I mean, I think it might also be a way for them to be able to say how many devices are on. I literally think it's so that they can say a certain percentage of devices are on this version. I think, we're always constantly looking at those device numbers, like what percentage are on Ice Cream Sandwich, who's still on Gingerbread. And I think this just might be a way for them to say, look how many devices are still on Jelly Bean. Like we've brought up, majority of devices are now on this single version of our operating system.
Yeah.
Just to give like good press, like because people kind of saying like, well, all these devices are still on Gingerbread. Mm-hmm. Well, then now they can say, well, look, we're all on Jelly Bean. It's just a sneaky way to make that pie chart look better.
I could imagine that also being in someone's thought process, but I just don't know if they really care about distribution numbers or metrics all that much. Like I don't know. I mean, really, I still blame carriers and manufacturers for the way that pie chart looks. It's not Google's fault that OEMs and Verizon always is screwing that stuff up. But either way.
Yeah, I sort of get the feeling that we're going to get 4.3, and there's going to be some just minor tweaks to Android in general. They'll throw in some kind of fancy feature just to make it worth the bump. But I think it's going to be more about all the extra things that they add on, like Babel, which we haven't really talked about yet tonight. New Gmail. There'll be Google Glass. Like, they're going to give us 4.3, but that's not going to be the show. It's going to be the gaming center and all these other things. Right. So while, like, Android purists and stuff are going to be like, where's the new version of Android? It's really going to be about all this other stuff that they're going to throw at us, I think, anyway.
I could see that. Absolutely. I could agree with that. Yeah. Absolutely. Highlight those new things. And that's, like, cross, version type stuff, like it's not just going to be for 4.3, that's going to be for ICS plus type of stuff. Right. I think that's what'll be great. So, and now that you said Babel, it's kind of nice to not have Eric here just for the night, to where he won't say Babel and all that. It's kind of nice just to think about.
Somebody's probably on Team Babel.
Oh, I'm sure there's always a Team Babel out there.
Speaking of Team Babel or Babel, we're pretty sure that's coming, right?
Oh,
I would assume so. I think the latest rumor, so some guy that hangs out at the Verge forums, he predicted, or at least got inside information about the winter Google event, that was canceled due to the hurricane. Like 10 days before, he took to the Verge forums and listed out every single thing that was going to happen, and he was like perfectly spot on. So he jumped on their forums last weekend and goes, here's what's coming. He goes, Google Babel. He goes, except it's going to be called Hangouts. And he goes, we're going to get a new Gmail that's finally going to look good. And I can't remember if he said anything else. He said he hadn't heard about hardware yet, but if he did, he was probably going to create a new post for that. But he didn't say, like, new Nexus 7 or this Nexus 4 LTE or anything. So assuming it's the same guy, like, it linked to all of his old posts, so it's assuming the same guy. It's probably the same source that told him the other stuff. So it sounds like that's coming. The big unified chat service. We don't know if it's going to be called Babel or Hangouts. The guy I talked to said he thinks it's still called Babel as of right now, but
I don't like Hangouts. I think they've already got a product term that, and I just don't think.
I don't like Hangout either.
I don't want to say, if I'm chatting to someone, oh, we're doing a Hangout right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably what they want you to say, though.
Dave looks so serious, like I don't want to say Hangout.
Well, I mean, it's in my head now. I've already got Hangout is associated with the video via this app on Google Plus, and I just will find it hard to separate that in my head.
But at the same time, having a unified name to say, hey, when you want to talk to other people, this is how you do it. Kind of like Skype. Skype has chat built into it.
Yeah,
chat on there.
I think some of the mock-ups we saw too, or some of the other stuff that were alleged screens show that it was all integrated into one. So I guess it would make sense if we can chat right now in this Hangout. It would make sense that we could decouple the video from that and just continue the chat, and then bridge in and out.
I think it's kind of interesting. You point out that you're already used to calling this Hangouts and stuff. I mean, like we are like the 0.1% of the world that uses this service. So like the rest of the world will just. Google will introduce Hangouts and they'll be like, oh, that's totally brand new. Never even heard of a Google Hangout before.
Well, hopefully they'll put it on iOS first. And
yeah, that way the whole world can know what's going on, because then Apple can help. And yeah, I just love it when Apple helps us, make things awesome. I'm still waiting for them to invent NFC so I can buy stuff at the store with it and all that stuff. It'd be great.
They'll invent it, don't worry.
No, it'll come.
I kind of like Hangouts, I think, just because you can say it's almost easier to say, hey, I'm going to hang out with someone. Like the product I think will be called Google Hangouts with an S, but you say like I'm in a Hangout, and then it just like Ron said, it becomes sort of like Skype where you're in a Hangout, and if you want to just jump into video in a Hangout, you can. It doesn't have to be like a standalone video service. It just becomes sort of an all-in-one name. And I definitely don't like the name Babel. That's just weird. So I hope it becomes Hangouts instead of that. For sure.
I think
and that kind of thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you go ahead, Ron.
Okay, I was just gonna say. In Talk, you could always initiate a video thing too. So it's not like that would be a foreign thing for people that are used to Google Talk.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think about how we talk about the services when you want to tell someone like to get in touch with you. So right now you could say like Skype me, and that works, or you could say like Gtalk me. But I just can't see myself saying Hangout me or Babel me.
I like that. Wow,
Yeah,
that's a good
but
point.
at the same time, though, like those things didn't become verbs. Like Google didn't exist as a verb for probably close to a decade, and Skype wasn't really a verb until very, very recently. So I mean, it's possible it could happen. I don't think it's the best verb because it already exists as a word, but you know, that kind of thing happens over time.
You can just say "hang out with me."
Yeah. Hey, let's.
You could say that,
But it's weird,
Hey,
and I don't know. And now I think kids don't say, "Hey, let's go hang out." They say, "Hey, we're having like a kickback." I think that's what they say now.
I mean,
Yeah.
occasionally for video invites, people will just hit me up on Gtalk though and say Hangout, and that's all they'll put. And then I should know that an impending invite is coming for a Hangout session. So I guess you could just be like Hangout to someone, and I don't
That's
know.
what it's going to be. Hangout's going to be Google. It's going to be a Google-related term.
Or
They just need to keep
forward.
it talk. Like, they just need to keep it talk. Google Talk. It's totally fine with me.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's what we're doing. We're talking.
I do like
And
that.
that's
as a project.
cross service, everything. You're just
Right. I
talk-
can
you're
talk
just-
with my text. I can talk with video. I can talk however I want.
Yeah, exactly. Just talk.
That would be their best bet, but will they go with that?
Well, because they were saying that was going to be like an updated talk app. It would just be awesome if it was just talk. Like, don't make up some new stupid word. Let's just talk.
Yeah.
I don't
Do you
know.
guys think this new service is going to have a chance to kind of catch up against other apps that are making the rounds, like WhatsApp and that kind of thing? I think I just saw an article saying that WhatsApp has finally hit more.
Users in Twitter.
Yeah.
Isn't that sort of...
It's crazy, and
That's
it's not even U.S.
ridiculous.
It's like most of their people are
Yeah,
not
it's out of the US.
Yeah. So once they come here and take it over or something, I don't know. I think a lot of people are disappointed that Google Voice probably isn't going to be built in, so that means no SMS, MMS, and a lot of people think that's just going to kill it because apparently people still text. You guys still text?
Yeah, absolutely. I
Because I have
text.
to. I don't want to,
Yeah.
though. And that's the thing is, like, because our communication, including voice, is still based on our phone number, that's what you have to do. And nobody's on one single service. But I think that's going to change. I really don't want it to be Facebook, but that's a really big contender now that you can, send voice messages back and forth and talk on there, basically. Skype is obviously a contender. WhatsApp is a contender.
I'm
Whatever
such
this-
a chat heads addict. I love chat heads.
It's
It's like
good.
my favorite app now because you can send pictures in it. You can send little weird, like voice notes. You
Yeah.
can just write to people.
I love the idea that it sits, on the side for those conversation pieces, and you can just click it, have it, and then put it back away. I honestly wish that was not face chat or Facebook, and then or like a mix together of everything, like Gtalk, and so obviously it would be like Google's unified service plus, whatever else.
Chatheads blows.
Don't be a hater.
I'm just gonna hate for no good reason. I'm over the future of technology. It's lame.
The sad thing is that Facebook invented chat heads, so like if Google were like, we created talk heads, they couldn't do
Yeah.
it, they'd get sued or something. So now we're just stuck with only Facebook doing that until like a third party, somebody like like Paranoid Android figures out a way to do it without root and a ROM, and I think we're screwed for now. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's get out of Babel. We're pretty sure that's coming. So new Gmail, this guy also said it's coming. We kind of figured that maybe, at least we were hoping. The iOS ones looked better forever, so this one will probably look like the iOS version, except it'll actually load quick.
I don't know if it'll necessarily look like the iOS version.
I would be happy with that if it did. I mean,
It should.
yeah, it should. That's what I think. Is that
The
it
iOS
should.
version, because the big thing is the iOS version matches what Gmail looks like in the web, and the current Android
Right.
version looks nothing like it at all.
Yeah. What's up with that?
Janky.
It's
Just
it's
my
it's
favorite
come a
SNS.
long ways. It's come a long ways.
I just don't know why the Android version has been stuck with its like ugly old look since. Well, when was the last big update? Was it
Yeah.
Ice Cream Sandwich when it got this look? Is that when we
Yeah.
got the?
Well, I remember it like really changed once when Honeycomb got released. I think.
Yeah.
Because it's like
that might
that
have been.
tablet version came out and it kind of turned into like a gray thing or whatever.
I think
But,
that was the last big change. Now it's just been like little tweaks here and there.
tweaks here and there.
It needs to be pretty. It's pretty. It's an ugly app right now.
Yeah,
I would say
it's
compared to
terrible.
the rest of the Google apps, it's ugly.
This should be like Google's #1 app. I mean, Gmail, whatever.
So hopefully we see that. I'd imagine we will. Let's talk. The next, I'm just looking at my bulleted list here. I just put wearable tech. I put Google Glass and then a Google Watch. So I've heard that there is definitely a watch, or at least a UI of a watch floating around. I actually heard that people are hacking it onto those Moto Actives. Because you know Motorola and Google are like one with each other now.
Yeah.
But I don't
have like a few million laying around.
Yeah, and there's probably just a ton of them laying around. They're like, here, hack these,
warehouse
make a
those
smartwatch.
bad boys.
Will somebody make these useful?
But I don't necessarily get the feeling that that's coming at I/O. It sounded, from what I heard, it sounded like it's way too early. So
No. Yeah.
yeah. But Google Glass is going to be freaking everywhere. I said frickin', by the way. Do we want to save? Let's save Google Glass. We'll talk about that later. The other thing I heard is that there's like going to be a Chrome dongle kind of thing. You know, like those Android on a stick things. Yeah, I love that word, dongle.
Dongle.
Yeah. But anyway, it's going to be like those Android on a stick that are HDMI, and you can just slap them into any monitor, and then you have Android. Well, now you'll have Chrome OS. I've actually heard it's going to be called the Chrome Key, so we'll see if it happens or not. But that's just what I've heard. So
That's pretty. That would be pretty genius. Yeah,
yeah,
like
it'd be super cheap.
You just plug that in the back of a monitor and like the HDMI port or something. And you got Chrome. Oh, that'd be dope. And have Wi-Fi connectivity in that bad boy. Oh, jeez, I'd buy that for $99.
Yeah, because how much are they selling those? You reviewed one of those Android ones. How much did that thing cost?
Oh, that thing was like $60 or something.
Yeah, so Chrome OS thing from Google, what is it going to be, like $25?
Yeah,
I don't know, probably not that cheap.
Yeah,
but
2 payments of $29.99. Just call this 1-800 number. They accept
problem is-
Visa and MasterCard.
Yeah. The problem is most monitors that people have don't have HDMI.
Well, maybe it's time to upgrade, Ron.
No, I'm saying like that
Time.
are still sold. Like most of them don't have HDMI.
No, yeah,
No,
you're absolutely
that can't be
right.
true. Really?
No, I think he might be right, technically.
I work
just
for a
bought
computer
freaking
consulting
monitor, and
company.
it's got HDMI.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can certainly get them, but like most people aren't getting HDMI because they just don't have the hookups on the computer for it. So unless they're getting like a TV,
That's just damn silly.
It is
Yeah.
damn silly.
I think it should just be a replacement for VGA. We don't need VGA anymore. It's got stinking pins for crying out loud. We
Yeah,
can
it's
get away
so,
from that.
yeah, it's so ghetto.
Yeah.
It's not even like reversible. You know what I'm saying?
Well, neither is HDMI. But
It's not even, yeah, HDMI's not either. You know what I
No,
really hate is...
that's
I just
fine.
like I just have to make fun of the Thunderbolt cable or whatever. That's all.
I was just going to make fun of it. I was going to say, as I've
Lightning bolt.
adopted
Lightning
like
bolt.
Apple computers in my life, I hate the way that Apple goes, we don't like HDMI and things like that, so we're going to create our own crappy cable. And then you have to buy adapters and all this crap. And, like, I have all these HDMI cables around my house. I had to go buy a special, essentially dongle-y thing to connect an HDMI to my second monitor. That's just stupid.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was Intel that did that, and Apple's just the only one to really adopt it. Sony had some Thunderbolt things, but that's about it.
Good old Sony.
I thought Apple was the one that had the trademark, though, to the Thunderbolt name.
They probably did.
They might. HTC had it first, though.
HTC, best phone ever. All right,
We're sorry.
Chrome dongle could be coming.
Let's. Do we want to have a moment for the Thunderbolt? I got it right here.
Oh, look at that thing.
It's in pristine condition too.
I could probably
Couldn't
get
use it.
$9 for that thing through Twitter.
I'm pretty sure everyone that updated that to ice cream sandwich has already just like thrown it off a cliff. It's unusable with ice cream sandwich. That's why they kept delaying it, because you can't use it. And they finally, I think, just said, "Screw it, people. Here you go. This is what you get."
It doesn't
It's
sound like
terrible.
an HTC phone. They always are great when they get upgrades.
This is what you get when you complain. You get crap.
See. Yeah. Last thing then is, are we going to get new devices at I/O? Nexus 7 or that Nexus 4 LTE that was like a completely made up rumor?
I'm thinking
I don't know.
a white Nexus 4. We've seen the body parts for it.
Yeah.
I bet you that
would
goes
be
like
sweet.
a Google I/O version of it, because that's the most recent
Yeah.
Nexus. The Nexus 7 spec bump is definitely going to happen.
But there was always a white Galaxy Nexus too, but they never really sold that, did they?
No, you could buy. I bought one. I bought
You
a
can get like
house.
the casing.
You can buy the housing for it. But, no, well, then again, so this was not some custom housing for the net. I mean, this was legit
No.
from LG, a white
Well, you
Nexus.
can't do the custom housing because it's all glass.
Exactly.
Oh no, actually, it's really easy.
Well, isn't
if
there
you wanna
just like...
take apart-
Sorry.
Yeah, because the glass is here. I'll show. So like the glass, like it's stuck to this plastic rim that goes around. So all you have to do is put like it in the front and just pop the whole thing pops off. Like I think it'd be really easy to do. I've already looked into it. Trust me. I think it would be really easy to do.
Stand black phones.
I don't mind them. They're just boring.
I know they're boring. Hey, dude. Oh well, like so people were talking about the Oppo Find 5. Like it's a good phone or something. I think it's the most boring phone I've ever looked at in my entire life. Just pure black. Just nothing going on. It's so boring.
That phone's getting all sorts of play lately, though. Everyone's all in love with the Oppo.
Yeah, because everyone and their mom got one. It's awesome.
They did. They did. All right, so that's all I know for I/O. I don't know if we're going to get a new music app, you know, if they're going to revamp Google Music, which I think we all hope they do, or Google Voice. I don't know if any of that's coming. It just seems like they're going to overwhelm us with so much stuff. I think after next Wednesday, we're just going to be sitting there going, what the hell just happened? What just happened? And we're going to try to do a show if we can. Tim and I will be probably in a hotel room, but we'll see what we can do. It's going to be a wild, wild day, I think.
Oh, it's going to be legit.
Yeah. But keep in mind, again, there's one keynote next Wednesday. It's 3 hours long. There's no second keynote on Thursday, which is kind of weird, but it's just what they're doing this year.
Probably just so they can avoid having to do the same Google Glass demonstration 2 days in a row.
You know, okay.
I was thinking about that today. That was the worst thing ever.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't the worst thing ever. I think it was really cool to see like a behind the thing because I mean they had the dudes pointing the Wi-Fi satellites at them or the radars or whatever. That was the dish.
You're just a Glass fanboy.
It had nothing to do with being a Glass fanboy. It was all just about like, wow, look at the world we live in right now. It's ridiculous. And my name is Ron, and I am a hater.
I'm 100% with Ron on that one. When they were sitting there running through that same demo again, I kept going, are they going to like put a twist in there? Like something else is going to happen, right? And then nothing happened. We just kind of went. They like rolled everyone back up on stage again, and we were supposed to like stand and clap. It was super awkward.
Right? Yeah, it's supposed to be like, oh, we did it again. Would have been better if they put it like on a cat. I would have watched that.
Oh, a kid.
I could watch that for hours.
Kitty cat skydiving with Google Glass
for animals. Google Glass for animals would actually be interesting, unlike humans.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? This is your cat's perspective. This is what your cat is looking at all the time.
I really like this idea, Ron. We need to work on this.
Yeah.
You guys have any other thoughts on I/O before we move out of there? Anyone? Last thoughts?
No, not right off the top of my head. But I'll be sure to chime in if I do.
Be sure to.
I will.
All right, let's talk quickly about the Galaxy S4 and HTC One on AT&T for a second, just because we no longer have the terrible Sprint version of the Galaxy S4. We have the AT&T version, and it's same phone, but the network really does make a difference.
Oh,
I tried to use the phone for like I put my HTC One away and tried to use Galaxy S4 for like 4 or 5 straight days, and it was actually not bad. I actually really liked it, but I'm back to the HTC One now. What do you think, Tim? I know you've been using it. Did you? Well, you had the Sprint HTC One, so I'm sure you're ready to ditch that thing.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. So I was using the HTC One on Sprint for a while, and so basically, as soon as the Galaxy S4 arrived and it was on AT&T's beautiful 4G LTE network, I haven't even touched the One. Oh, except to do like a camera comparison today and all that. But I mean, the One is great, but the carrier Sprint, it makes the phone unusable. Like you can't leave the house and use it. You know what I mean? Like I mentioned in my little review thing that I couldn't even send a tweet from the phone on Sprint's 3G. Like what's up with that? Like I need access to Twitter, I need access to Instagram, and I can't have any of that when I'm using Sprint. So I have dropped my HTC One Colt for now until I have one on a better carrier, and until then I'm just rocking the Galaxy S4 on AT&T.
Yeah, when I had the Sprint Galaxy S4 and I first picked it up, I was in San Francisco, and they kind of have like a test 4G market there, but it doesn't really work. And so you're dropped back to their 3G network, which completely doesn't work. Like I was supposed to be testing it, and I couldn't use the phone. I had to switch back to like my Nexus 4 on T-Mobile or something. Yeah, the AT&T Galaxy S4, it's been a nice change. Like the phone really is. The more you use, it's one of those that has so much stuff in it that if you just use it for a few days, you probably will be overwhelmed. But the more you use it, the more you play with it and test out all the features, you can kind of get the hang of stuff. And it's a pretty damn good device. It's just, I think the wow factor wasn't necessarily there, still isn't there for people like us because we're tech geeks and we like what HTC did because they did something different. But you really can't go wrong with Galaxy S4. I don't think. So, you guys want to talk about Google Glass? Rant a little bit?
Cam?
If you'd like to.
Yeah. Wait, what are we talking? Google Glass?
Yeah.
Sorry,
we're already out of
did
the
you lose yourself a little bit?
We've talked so much about the Galaxy S4 and HTC One that...
Do you guys want to talk about easy mode on the S4 real quick?
Oh, no.
No.
Actually, I kind of do.
There was a commercial for that, right?
Yeah. So there's a commercial, and Samsung spent the last year and a half making fun of the old people that use iPhones, and then they come out with a commercial that goes, "Hey, here's easy mode." And they hand it to an old guy, and he's like,
Right.
"Oh, that's really awesome." So it's like they've been making fun of old people, and now they're like, "But we want old people."
Right. Don't worry, old people. We've got a mode for you.
I think that's totally awesome. I think that's Samsung playing it smart, and I mean they just have all sides of the game covered, man.
I think it would have been better if easy mode just installed MIUI. That way it just looked and felt like an iPhone for all the old people that are apparently using iPhones.
That could work. They could just license MIUI.
Or MIUI. How do you say that? Does anybody know? I think it's
I say
MIUI.
MIUI, but some people say MIUI.
I thought it was my UI.
I just
I
go
think it's supposed to be
MIUI.
MIUI, like those English words.
I mean, I used to just say MIUI, but that's because I say everything all sorts of screwed up.
Yeah, but I'm with you on that. I kind of say it the same way.
MIUI.
But I also say Babel, and I say Holo.
You mean Babel and Hollow?
It's
Hollow I actually do believe in. Babel is just...
We're going to figure it out next week when we hang out with Matthias.
Or not.
No?
Maybe they'll just call it Hangouts and never acknowledge Babel. We will never know.
Well, we're going to figure out Holo, if it's Hollow or Holo.
Definitely. That's it. Oh, yeah, of course. That's the first question we're going to ask. And it's going to be
one
on,
question.
It's going to be on
boy.
camera, too. I'm going to stick it right up in his face. Say, go. With your gorgeous shirts.
Gorgeous shirt. All right, so we ran a poll for Google Glass. We just asked, do you care about Google Glass? Because it's everywhere. Personally, it's annoying, but some people are enthused about it. And we had 42% say, I'm semi-interested to see what developers can do. 32% said, yes, I'm very interested. And 26% said, I couldn't care less.
How is that even possible? Like,
they wouldn't want to start because I can go last or I can start because it might take me a while.
I just don't see how people could not care about it. Like how?
But I think you have to be somewhat interested, right?
Yeah. Well, I just don't get if you're on a blog that's about Android, an Android-centric blog, and you could be so opposed, like.
Well, there's a difference between being opposed and not being
So I do not care. Kellen, I know.
You know what?
There's a difference between what?
Oh, it seems like we got some syncing issues. But I was saying there's a difference between being opposed and not caring at all.
Right. I would, yeah. Not caring just means you think it's kind of stupid and you just don't want to spend any time thinking about it. Opposed means you're like, that's the worst thing ever.
Yeah, and there definitely have been some people to say, hey, I don't think that wearable technology like that should be in the public, which I think is a very different stance between saying, oh, I just don't like Google's implementation.
I find those people one and the same. Like I see them as negative Nancys who must be destroyed.
I think you mean grumpy Grubers.
Grumpy cats? You grumpy cats. How dare you?
Does the owner of Grumpy Cat like a millionaire? Random subject. Grumpy Cat is everywhere. It's in more places than Google Glass.
Oh, Grumpy Cat's huge.
I do love Grumpy.
Literally huge.
I think everyone should at least be interested in seeing where Google Glass goes. If not for wanting to have the piece of technology themselves, just to see what will happen with it. If it does become something accepted, what other improvements can they make on it? How will it change society? Stuff like that. I think there's implications to it that people just don't think about at face value. They're just like, oh, it's a glasses with a camera, cool. But that could change a lot. I mean, it's not even available on market yet, and you've already got places banning it.
Right. Well, one of them was a casino, and that's legit. Like, you shouldn't be wearing Google Glass at the blackjack table.
Yeah, but we've heard
that's totally legit. There are certain places where it's just silly. That's like oh my god. Yeah, how dare they ban Google Glass? It's like that just goes without saying.
You can't even use your phone in a casino. So what?
Exactly. It should be at casinos, like I said, strip clubs.
I guarantee you, like any federal or state buildings, you probably
cool in the boom room.
Yeah, federal buildings, stuff like that. Those are all places that you can't use your phone anyways. I mean, that should be pretty obvious. So they might just have to change the documentation and say, hey, no electronic devices.
But I do think, and it's not just tech people that are interested in it. I do think there are.
Oh yeah, there are certainly others.
General populace at that LG Optimus G Pro waste of an event. There was regular like consumer access people there too. General access, and there was these two dudes that were sitting over by the hot dog bar, and I went over to them, and there was a girl at this event that had Google Glass, and she was like the center of attention. Nobody cared about the phone that was there. Everybody was paying attention to this girl with Google Glass, and these two dudes were sitting there looking. I heard them talking. I'm like, you're talking about the glass, and then we just started talking, and they're really interested in it. And it's just two guys, not even involved in like tech industry, that really want to see the product, and everybody was talking to this girl about it. She was doing demos, showing it like the mirrored on the phone and everything. So I do think we're gonna see that the glass itself is popular. I just don't know how popular.
Yeah, I think there is a lot of mainstream interest in the product. I mean, you can't help but be interested in it. I mean, it's a very new and interesting thing, I think. And I think the way Google is kind of going about it, they were kind of like, it's kind of like mysterious, although at the same time, they're being open about, what you can do with it. I think it's a very interesting piece of hardware. So you guys already know how I feel about it.
I've seen a lot of, at least a couple of Google Glass etiquette posts. I think the Wall Street Journal did one. I couldn't agree with those things more. So, all right, I'm going to go off a little bit here. So, like Google Glass is one of those things. Well, it's like I was telling Tim today. I was like, people that wear Google Glass, they're gonna be that guy. Like, you see that guy, like he's at the grocery store, and you just kind of go, do you really need to be wearing that right now? Or he's at a bar. Like, why would you need to wear Google Glass at a bar? Or like if you're at a restaurant, take it off. You shouldn't be wearing it in a restaurant. You should be having a conversation with someone. It creates almost like a weird barrier socially. There's all these social things that are what bother me about it. But functionality-wise, like they need to make it so that it can break down and you can like put it away easily, so that people don't have to feel like they have to wear it all the time. So if you go into a social situation, you can take it off. But like I fully get, like if you're in a car, it would be awesome. You could have like navigation in there, and it's probably a lot safer to like look up with your eye than look down at either a phone or a big screen. Like you could just look up and it would talk to you. Things like that. Like that makes sense. And actually, even the grocery store, even though I just threw that out as a bad example, I could see where you could be at the grocery store and you have like a Google Keep grocery list. You could pull that up, thumb through it. Like I fully see where there's use cases for it. But I think my biggest thing is I keep seeing all these videos of people like wearing it to like social gatherings and parties and stuff like that. I just think that's weird. It makes, I know it might grow on people eventually, but it's like I don't know, when I get done running, I take off my running gear before I like go to a restaurant or something. Like I'm trying to think of like other examples. Like when people are like, you get done, like Tim, when you get done playing baseball, you don't wear your baseball uniform around all the time. And not necessarily just like a work thing, but
no, but it might be cool to see. It might be cool to see, like, I don't know.
Check it out, ladies.
Yeah, hockey sweaters.
Portland Titan.
I think, well, like number one, like the screen is going to have some issues. So I don't know if you guys saw Sean Hollister's. He had like a quick post about it, and he talked about how he was trying to wear it while driving. And he couldn't see it because the background was too light behind him, so he had to keep looking up like at the roof of his car so he could actually see the screen.
Yeah, that's
which is way more dangerous than than you're not looking at the road at all. So So I mean, there are certain, and that's part of that's just gonna be like them prototyping.
Maybe they'll
trying
come
to
out.
figure
You know how we have like the sticker for the home button on the Nexus, the Samsung devices because they put the Verizon logo. Well, what if we did like the same thing? You just had like a little sticker you could put across. It's a little like 50% like shaded piece of black plastic, so that way it'll dim it. You need the light to pass through it in order to see it, correct? Some light?
Not
Prism?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Not really sure. That kind of makes sense what you're saying, but I don't know exactly how it works.
Kind of like
it's way too scientific for me.
Like a sunglasses type thing, just for the prism, like its own little.
I don't know if you do need it or not. We should probably know that.
Well,
But,
I haven't had a hands-on with it, so I don't know.
You know, I'm pretty sure you don't. I think it beams it into it. Like there's a light somewhere in there, putting it out.
Yeah.
But even still, it's like
Depends on what
it's sunglasses for your Google Glass. When you're in the car driving, you just flip this thing down, and you can see it better. There you go.
So
We're good.
you have sunglasses, then you have Google Glass over them, and then you have a little flip-down shade for your Google Glass.
Dave, the glasses, they got the clips.
You've seen someone in person with those. I think they're pretty big. Like you can tell when somebody's wearing them.
Yeah, you wore it. So,
but I mean, like you could pick somebody out like that when they're wearing Google Glass because it sticks out, like it protrudes from their head. Like it's not like this really minimal thing.
No, I was sitting there wondering what I was doing at this event, and then all of a sudden, I just out of the corner of my eye, I saw her walk by, and I was like Google Glass, and turned right to it. Like you can pick them out, or maybe it's just because they're so, mysterious right now, and because I think it was a red model, so it kind of stuck out.
Yeah.
She's gonna regret that.
Oh, so, everybody was all over those. She didn't have a moment's break to relax.
Google Glass is going to lead the charge on some new like eye disease because everyone's going to be swapping Google Glass. So, I get that there's definitely some cool use cases for it. For me personally, and while I haven't used it yet, it just seems like something I personally I don't want to see just on everyone everywhere I go. I don't want to see that. I think like if you're walking down the street, like say you live in a big city, you walk all the time, take subway and all that stuff, that actually kind of makes sense. Like you could probably get some stuff done. You don't have to pull your smartphone out. But like when you get to work or you get to a building, take it off. You don't need to wear Google Glass all day. And I know right now everyone that has it is just kind of showing it off, and they're like, whoa, this is such a cool new experience. I just hope when we get to the point that it's retail, I don't have to like go to the gym and see it. Well, first of all, that should be one of those places they probably ban it at. But if I go, just like into a public area or like a restaurant, I keep throwing that out there.
Why would they ban it in a gym, though? I mean, I can have a cell phone which does all the same things that Google Glass does. I could still take pictures and video.
Yeah, except this way, like with Glass, you could be like inconspicuously being like a creeper. You know what I mean?
A lot more, at least, than you can be with a phone.
Exactly. Sure, you can walk around with a phone, but at least I'm going to catch you doing it and say, hey, bro.
So you're probably going to be listening to music on your device, so you're going to hold up your phone and flip through your music. What's to say I can't do the same gesture but be in a camera, so it looks
You can, but it's harder to do.
Exactly. I think, well, I mean, there's just a difference between...
I just think then you're going to be getting into like territory like, well, so you're saying cameras are banned, so should we not have cell phones in here then? Like what if I have Bluetooth? I don't know if it can do it right now, but what if you could use your Glass headset as your provider of music? I think it's just a little too black and white, or maybe even like black and gray currently, just because I think Google Glass is just there's the people. Okay, for example, someone that we know posted up a video of them wearing Glass down in Southern California, and they see these two lovely ladies walking up to them, and he's like, "Okay, time to record a video." And so he is recording a video, and then boom! As soon as the two girls walk by, his head whips around, and you see the girls walking by, and they're very like scantily dressed and all that stuff. And he's like, "Oh, I got it." And it's just, I think it's that example right there of why Glass is why people like don't care, because you're just kind of like you're just all up in their business, and it's just like, especially at the gym, where girls are wearing like their tight
workout outfits and all that stuff. Like, I can take a mental image really well. Like, I don't need Google Glass to help me like remember these awesome things.
I see what you're saying, Tim, and I hope they ban glasses at beaches too, because I mean,
yeah, damn it, absolutely.
Just ban it everywhere already.
I mean, even if you, I mean, I don't like it when if somebody's going to be like trying to take a picture of me or something like that. I wouldn't appreciate that without my permission. But I think even if we like,
it's not against the law.
No, it's not against the law, but I mean, it's not. But maybe, you know, I'm not saying it should be, but I mean, that kind of etiquette, like, and even smartphones, like, we still haven't really figured out what the etiquette is for smartphones, and we're what, almost. Yeah, almost. I mean, we're about halfway, you know, through a decade, 6-7 years of having like smartphones that can actually, you know, do stuff and, you know, show us information really quickly, and we're still trying to figure out, hey, how should we navigate this? You know, and how much information should we have access to? How much of that should be brought to our attention immediately with services like Google Now and just, you know, notifications from Twitter and Facebook and all that other kind of stuff? We don't know how those things are impacting us. We don't know how this huge barrage of information is impacting us at all. Like, that's all this stuff is really, really new. So like, I know for me, you guys know, I took, for Lent, I took off social networking, so I just didn't do any social networking. And that process like dramatically changed the way that I look at my phone and when I use it. So now I don't have any notifications turned on when I'm for any social networks. So if I want to get that information, I have to jump into the app and check it. And so for me, I've become a lot less distracted. I'm able to hold on to conversations longer. I'm able to read longer, which was huge because I'm not tempted to just keep jumping into Twitter every 5 minutes, which is like huge. And we don't realize how these things are really affecting us, how this barrage of sometimes good information from news and stuff like that, and sometimes useless stuff like Facebook that we really probably don't need to know. So like, glass is going to, like, now it's not just in your phone, now it's in your face, and we have no idea how that's going to affect us. Even if, obviously we can talk about, you know, taking pictures and videos of people, but I think that's the bigger issue that we need to kind of ask and be thinking about, like, how is this much information right up in our face going to affect how we live and how we interact with other people?
Well, I think it's not, I mean, okay, before you had Twitter or Facebook, let's just remove technology. People were doing the same thing if they were at like a party or a social place. You could sit down at a bench maybe in a park where there's a lot of people and then just start listening to the updates as people are talking over here. What are they talking about? You know, a constant feed of information, people over here. So it's essentially just digitizing, standing in a crowded room of people. So I don't think it's really.
That's not the norm, and that's not our normal situation. And the amounts of information that we receive, that, like, there have been studies done, like, that the amount of information we receive has dramatically changed. If you go back 100 to 200 years, most people, in terms of the amount of information they receive in their life, is the size of a newspaper. We get dramatically more amounts of information now, and we really don't know how that's affecting us.
I mean, I think it's just causing us to drop off stuff because we're maxing out on space, so you lose a lot more. You know, retention is minimized.
Yeah, I think what scares me is just, like, as a society in general, we're already addicted to our phones. And Ron, like you said, with notifications and this and that, we're constantly pulling our phones out.
I want Glass.
With Google Glass, you, like, that could change, like, exponentially. You're always able to just look up. You don't have to pull your phone out. All you have to do is, like, look up, and there's a notification, and then you're... So then, even though it's supposed to, you know, they're kind of selling it as it's supposed to open you up so you don't no longer have to use your smartphone all the time and pull it out, but it's constantly there in your line of sight. Like, all you have to do is look up a little bit, and there's a new tweet, there's a new Facebook message, there's a new email, and it's just like this constant flow that you know, it never goes away then. At least you can put your smartphone away. With Google Glass, it's always there. That kind of scares me a little bit. We're already addicted enough to technology as it is. Google Glass just could throw that through the roof, and it looks weird. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it. I'm kind of on the.
We don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens. But I think that it'll be good, especially for, you know, the people that are reviewing these products and thinking through this. Like, I do think that's an angle that is not covered very much by technology journalism. Just, okay, how is this technology affecting us? We don't really see a lot of stories about that, except for once in a while in the New York Times and stuff like that. So I think that that's something we should be a little bit more cognizant of and asking those types of questions. And how is this stuff going to be changing us? Because we're right on the cusp of where, basically, in general, the internet and everything that's on there is going to be shot at us all the time, between, you know, Google cars being able to show us stuff, and Glass, and our smartphones, and different wearable technologies. And we're right on the cusp of that being really, really invasive, with at least the possibility for that. And we should probably be a little bit more careful with that.
Yeah. Well said, actually.
Spot on.
Yeah. Hopefully I'll get some time, or Tim too. We'll get some time next week. We'll have some time to put it on our head, hopefully. Because I've been wanting to write some sort of piece about all these thoughts that it just keep running through my mind all the time about glass. But I don't want to really do that until I've had some real time with it. So
yeah,
hopefully we get some time with it. I can't imagine we won't. There's gonna be flying cars and Google Glass and who knows what else at I/O.
Yeah, don't knock it till you try it. Yeah, we'll try it on.
Yeah,
it's gonna have to be there. So
for sure. Let's see what else we got. The HTC sort of mentioned the other day they were trying to shoot down rumors that the One is coming to Verizon, and they can't ever really just do it. Like they won't just come out and say no, it's not coming to Verizon. They keep saying we haven't announced anything, or they kind of just beat around the bush about it. And they seem to almost get a little annoyed that they have to shut these rumors down, but they won't ever just say no. So they said when we announce something for Verizon, we'll make a big deal out of it. So it's like they tried to shut it down, and then they go, but when something comes, we're going to make a big deal out of it. So that caught on. Yeah.
Let's just say, hey, we're not ready to announce it yet, but something's coming. Come on, let's just get it out there in the open.
Yeah, they have no power, and Verizon's probably going, you better not say anything.
Yeah, you better not. We're still trying to push your DNA.
We don't want people to know we have new devices coming out this year. Let's just stay stale.
Well, it's not about staying stale. It's still that they got product to push, and they got to meet numbers and quarterlies and monthlies and yearlies and all that. They got numbers to do. They got stock investors. They got more going on than just meeting the needs of all the Android nerds out there that want a new phone. It's so beyond that, I think. But
yeah, it is strange that the way that they're talking about it, instead of just saying, hey, we don't talk about rumors, which is what basically every other company does. They're saying we're gonna have something, just wait for it, and that's
because HTC has never had buzz about their company. They don't even know what to do with it. They're like, oh my god, people want a phone of ours, and we have no idea what to tell them. Like, it's kind of sad.
That's always funny.
Probably true.
So to fuel those rumors, Blackman X, the mobile panda, I think he said yesterday, or I think he sent out a tweet yesterday that said something about Verizon people, you're going to love it and hate it or something like that. And I think he essentially said there's going to be like no storage. So it sounds like it's going to be like a 16 gig version of the One or something. At least that's kind of what I got from what he said, but maybe not.
I would be totally fine with that.
Yeah, and then there's this other guy on Twitter that talks a lot about unreleased HTC stuff. I can't remember his Twitter handle. It's like Lab2Woofer or something. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I don't know. We sourced him a couple of times. He sent a tweet out like today that said this phone is for sure coming to Verizon. Get ready. I don't know. So there's still more rumors. We still don't know when it's coming. Yep. Paranoid Android Halo. Has everyone had a chance to play with that? Anyone? I know Tim has. I played with it for a second. Tim, what do you talk about Halo for a second on Paranoid Android? It's kind of taken over the ROM world lately.
Yes, absolutely. Paranoid Android, the Halo feature. It's pretty cool. I mean, basically, it's like a glorified Facebook chat head, except it's system wide, so it works with all your apps. From the notifications, if you got a new notification, it pops up, and like a little chat head bubble. Click on chat head bubble. Pops up a new window of that entire app going on there. Except it's like it pops it up in like a tablet UI type deal. So say you get an email, you pop up an email, and it looks like it would on a tablet, to where it shows your entire inbox on the left and then a preview of the message on the right, which is kind of weird because given I'm using it on a Nexus 4, so the display is kind of tiny. But either way, I have a video up on the site that could probably do a lot better of explaining it than my words can. But it's pretty cool. It's alpha. As soon as we said, hey, we wish that it had multiple notification support, we wish that you could toggle it better, and then like they announced that, oh, well, we watched Droid Live's video and we're going to be putting in these features. And I was like, yeah, people listen to me. It's great. So
yeah, right now it's really early. I think my favorite part of it right now is when you hit the little toggle to turn it on, it does that like halo kind of glowy thing.
It's kind of
really cool. Yeah, the animation's really cool. But yeah, right now one notification at a time. So it kind of limits, switching through notifications. But they're going to change that. Obviously it's alpha and they're telling you that, but it's kind of cool. Like that Paranoid Android team does some really sweet stuff.
Doing some big old things.
Big things.
Yeah, I think that's still I think my buddy Roy on Twitter, arrow to the knee or whatever, Dave, but he's always saying like he always falls back in love with the Android dev community when something like this happens. They really kind of like reinvent the way we're using our phone, and that's just great. I think that's why Android is so much fun. There's always something new going on.
For sure.
It's great.
Let's see. Other thing I wanted to talk about was Larry Page meeting with. This happened last week. Larry Page apparently met with LG. I think he met with Samsung or something too. But he met with LG, and I think the Korea Times, he reported that they talked about the next Nexus. And then sure enough, like 2 days later, EvLeaks drops this giant LG phone on us with no navigation buttons. And it has this massive blue screen, and everyone's like, oh my god, that's it. That's the Nexus 5, which we don't even know if they're making a Nexus 5. But it could be. And apparently LG's making it. And Larry Page shook their hand and said, sweet job, guys. Let's make a Nexus 5. And so that's the rumor. What do you guys think about LG making another Nexus?
And that was from Korean Times, you said?
The Korea Times, yeah.
Oh, the Korea Times, yeah.
Not DigiTimes.
Not DigiTimes. This is Korea Times.
Korea Times.
Well, boy, if I had $1 for every time the Korea Times was right about something, I don't know. I think as far as LG making the next Nexus device, I'm just sort of like, I still love Nexus devices, but ever since the Nexus 4, which I really just wasn't that big of a fan of, I feel like I could kind of care less about Nexus devices because they're never really the top of the line like people want them to be. Like, they aren't overly powerful. They don't even like sport like the most crazy specs. I mean, the Nexus 4 only came out end of last year, and it doesn't have like a 1080p display or anything like that. I mean, it's really just kind of lacking. So unless it's something totally beastly and uber powerful, I'm not interested. The end.
I can't believe you just hated on the Nexus 4.
Yeah, dude, the phone does not.
Baby.
This phone kind of sucks. I think I'll be like. I've never been a fan of it. I haven't even really no. Nope.
I love it so much too.
The camera blows. Everything sucks.
The camera does blow. I'll give you that. But I don't think that's LG's fault. I think that's just the crappy stock Android camera software.
Maybe. I mean, it is only 5 megapixels, right? Or is it 8? No, it's 8.
No,
Excuse me.
It's 8. Yeah.
It's 8. Yeah.
It just looks like 5. Yeah.
That is a good thing to point out, though. I don't think there's been a Nexus that had even a decent camera, really. I mean,
No.
they're just all kind of crappy.
Takes photospheres, though.
Like the Galaxy Nexus, I think was like the only one I was actually impressed with. Well, and the Nexus S. I mean, sure, I'm impressed with Nexus devices, but at the same time, if I had to choose between a Nexus 4, an HTC One, and a Galaxy S4, are you kidding me? Like, I wouldn't even think about taking the Nexus 4 for any reason. Like, it has nothing that I would say, oh, I gotta have that. The only thing I would want is photosphere, and it's not even that important to me. So
if the camera on the Nexus 4 was just a little bit better and it had LTE, I'd drop the HTC One for it right now, probably. There's something about it. I love the damn phone. Even the stupid glass back that's broken on me like a half a dozen times. There's something about like just the way the display feels when you touch it. It's all soft and it's like small enough like you can use it in one hand. I love that damn phone. I don't know.
I totally get that, and you're right. Like the phone does seem very fast, and it's always been smooth, and I do like the way it feels. Yeah.
Is Tim like going super slow robot for anybody else?
Yeah. That's awesome.
That was perfect timing too. Yeah, because he was like,
just
"Oh,
so
smooth."
Wow.
Tim, you're timing out. Stop talking. I think most people will either want to see HTC build it, the next Nexus, because of what they did with the One.
I don't know.
Or then there's
did I completely lag out during that?
Yeah, it was awesome. You'll have to watch the replay of you going, It was so smooth. It was pretty good, dude. Yeah, so Nexus. LG is reportedly making it.
I had a really. Did you hear my? Did you hear
We got nothing. You were auto-tuned for like 10 minutes. It was a Tato auto-tune. Yeah. All right, do you guys want to talk about apps or games? Actually, Ron, do you have anything to rant about this week? We haven't had a Ron rant in a while.
Yeah, there hasn't been anything happening in a while.
No, there hasn't been. Next week we'll probably have something, or after I.O., I bet.
Yeah, and I ranted a little bit for Google Glass. That should cover people.
All right. You guys have any apps and games you want to talk about? Tim, give me some apps and games, or apps in general.
Yeah, if I can get through it. Real quick, I wanted just to say, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes. We can hear you. I think you might be a little delayed, but you're good.
I'm going to shout into All right, well, let me talk then for 2 seconds, please. Jesus. I just wanted to say that the Nexus 4, the way it was announced, there was no wow factor. You know, there was no...
Oh, we're going back to the Nexus 4. Okay.
Yeah. And Tim's literally back by like 3 seconds without the Nexus 4.
It had a sparkly back, Tim. There was wow.
I don't know if you remember that.
Shut up! All right.
I never really liked it. But Tim, you did like it. You're saying you never liked it, but you did.
Matthias' shirt during the unveiling.
I liked it.
I think we all. I think we all are a fan of a new Nexus device, and then when it comes out, it's either like, yeah, I still like it, or no, I don't. You know, everybody was excited about the Galaxy Nexus on Verizon, and then all of a sudden, everyone was like, "F this! It doesn't get updates. It's this. It's that." Same thing.
And the Nexus 4 that I have and love gets all sorts of updates. It's amazing. The camera just sucks, and I don't take pictures with it. Okay, Tim.
Yeah.
Give us some apps, please.
Yes. All right, I'm gonna try real quick. I got two apps. One is a live wallpaper. It is called a liquid cloud that I wrote up today. I also made a short little video of it. Probably my best video ever. Either way, I mean, it's what is there to say? It's just a live wallpaper. It looks like that. You can change the color. Blah blah blah. It's great. It costs $1 on Google Play. I really like it. Next, I have Bang with Friends. Everyone wants me to talk about Bang with Friends.
Yes, they do.
You know what's great? What's great about Bang with Friends is that...
Someone just went Ricky Martin, by the way.
I know. Oh, she does bang. Yes, she bangs. There's nothing really great about Bang with Friends. It's just sort of like, it's this new...
You know what's great?
I don't know, it's just a very interesting... So it's a service that you use. You log into Facebook, and then you can anonymously choose if you want to have sex with one of your Facebook friends or not. If your friend also uses this service, they can choose if they want to have sex with you too. And then it's not anonymous anymore. If that makes sense at all.
So it becomes creepy as hell, because before the show you were telling us, and why has it become creepy?
Dude, it's just creepy because I have a lot of family members on my Facebook friends list, and so the first person that popped up was related to me. And I was like, oh, Jesus. Like, because it asked if you want to...
Well, no, you need to clarify that, because that sounds really bad.
No,
well, you need to clarify. They didn't pop up because they wanted to sleep with you. They just popped up because they were one of your friends.
Yeah, well, yeah, come on. I shouldn't have to explain that. It just shows all of your friends that are females. If you choose to... Okay, I'm sorry. It pops up all the females on your Facebook friends list, and the first one that popped up I happen to be related to. And so it asked if I would like to hang or bang, and I just skipped. I said neither.
I don't want to hang out with you, and I don't want to do anything.
Couldn't you just use this as a tool to weed out like creepers if you were a chick? Just put every single guy on your Facebook friends list on there, and then when it tells you who they are, you just stop being friends with them because now you know they've got indecent thoughts about you.
I don't think it tells you. You have to. I think you have to say like, I want to sleep with this person. I don't think it just like notifies you.
No, I mean that's what I'm saying. They would, if I was a girl and I'm like, I want to see who the creepers are on my friends list. I would just add every single guy that was a friend, saying like, yes, I want to sleep with them, yes, and just do the whole thing. And then when it starts ticking up on all these guys that also wrote it, that's when you're like, okay, defriend, I got you now.
Can you do that, Tim? Like, if you add somebody, can you like unbang them?
think it's called
because he said it's anonymous until both people agree they want to bang, and then it drops a level of anonymity. So if you are a girl trying to weed out the creepers on your friends list, you add them, and when it reveals them, you get rid of them. So it's actually an anti-creeper tool. This is not what it's marketed for.
Yes. And back to your hope for unbanging people. Yeah, I'm sure we all wish that was a possibility. But either way.
Well,
do you have a response? I don't know. Were you gonna say like yes, you can?
No. Oh yeah, I said yes, you can do that. Because so once you mark that you want to bang this person, and that person uses the app, they mark that they want to bang you, then you are both notified that you would like to bang each other. And then so once that girl gets that you want to bang her, then she can say, okay, well, I don't like you now because you want to have sex with me, so I'm gonna unfriend you. Like, that's a mean thing to do, but yeah.
I was looking for like dirty porn sound effects, but I don't really have any.
This Google Hangout it's lagging, it's killing me.
It's a trumpet, dude. Oh.
That's not sexy at all.
That's not. No, it's not. All right, so that app is free, right? You just have to have a Facebook account.
Oh yeah, that app is free. Please don't pay for that service, people.
All right. I just want to talk about the
Google Play.
Okay. I just want to talk about Google I/O 2013 app is out. If anybody wants to participate in Google I/O 2013 that's not actually going, there's live streams, live interviews with Googlers, and all kinds of stuff. So download the app. That's free, or update your old one if you still have the 2012 version there. So yeah, check that out. Ron, did you have an app?
Yeah, I've got an app. It's called Awesome On Off. It's not related to Tim's app. And basically, so I was hanging out with some of my friends, and they had one of them had a Galaxy Nexus that they had dropped in water. And so they did the rice thing, and everything worked fine except for the power button. So she was asking me if there's a way to make it so that she can, use her phone without having to, basically she had to plug it into the charger if she wanted the screen to turn on if it had turned off, which was super annoying. So this app, Awesome On Off, what it does is, so if you're having troubles with your screen and you don't want to root and remap a volume button, what you can do is install this app, and then it'll, you can add a button onto your home screen to turn off your screen. But then also it uses the accelerometer in there, and then you pick how many degrees you want to turn your phone. So right now my phone screen is off, and if I flip it up, it'll turn on. So you can turn on it right now. The default is 40 degrees. So if you pick up your phone that much, then it'll turn the screen on, and you can unlock it, and you can tell it to bypass the lock screen too if you want. So that was the main application that she wanted to use it for, just because her power button wasn't working anymore. So that's a way for her to turn on her phone screen. Obviously, you don't have to have that problem. If you just want to be able to just pick up your phone and have your screen come on so you can unlock it, then you could use it for that too. But so that's called Awesome On Off. It's in the App Store. It's free. There's a paid version too that adds a few more features, but for those ones, it's free.
Sweet. That was a purple razor sighting.
Yes. And here's a
Dave, did you want to pimp any icons or anything?
Yeah, let's talk about, there's this new set called Stark that was released, and it's really awesome, really clean. These beautiful square icons that are super flat. They look good with a lot of stuff, but I would like to actually pimp an app that works with them called Icon Themer.
Oh, okay.
This app,
I've heard of that, but I haven't actually looked at it yet.
You have to be rooted. It's unfortunately, but that's what it is. But essentially what it does is it'll take icon packs that are on the market, and essentially kind of how the T-Mobile theme engine works that you find in like Cyanogen and ACOP, it will put your icons everywhere. So like if you open up the Gmail app, the little icon at the top will be the theme icon. If you go into settings, all of the icons that show will be the icons from the theme. So it really just gives you the icon theme throughout your whole device to give you a more complete look. It's actually quite cool. It's available on the Play Store, but if you don't want to pay for it, the developer does give it away for free currently on XDA. Just search for Icon Themer and you'll find it.
That's sweet. I've seen it pop up a couple of times, just haven't had a chance to look at it. I didn't know that it themed icons like inside apps. That's pretty
it's
sweet.
Everywhere. If the icon appears somewhere on the device, it's themed.
I'm gonna blow my brains out if this Hangouts keeps sucking.
Yeah, Tim, you're struggling, buddy. I think that was a Palm sighting.
Earlier, yeah. This is my Touch Pro 2 right here.
Oh, nice.
Palm's
Dude, I know I'm struggling. I'm freaking out, man.
Tim's on like a 30-second delay. I think Tim's like watching from Droid. All right, well, I don't have anything else, unless you guys do. Anything else anybody wants to toss out there?
Candy Crush Saga is just a money hole.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a super addicting game that they have set up that like it's so annoying you just want to spend money to get past annoying stuff. I'm currently at a block right now where I have to wait 72 hours before I can progress because I have to unlock this thing. I can pay 99 cents to keep moving to more levels, or I can do these unlock like level things, but each one has a 24-hour cooldown. So I pass the first one, I have to wait 24 hours before I can do the next one. So I have to do that 3 times before I can go further.
That sounds terrible.
But it's probably great for them because there's a lot of people out there that'll just spend money on the fly to get past these. Or if you're like one jelly short of beating a level, you'd have to play to understand, but you would see they're probably making a ton of money.
Yeah, probably. Wow. Yeah, so I don't have anything else.
Preemptive comment.
That's I think that's probably the show.
How
We'll try next week.
lagging am I right now?
You're by about 3 seconds.
Okay, so I'll time everything for 3 seconds from now.
Oh no, I think you're actually fine now.
Okay,
Oh, yeah,
well, let's go.
Tim's back.
Let's talk.
I don't know. Well, okay. What else do you want to talk about? I don't have anything else.
I got nothing.
You got nothing.
I'm glad we're wrapping up because this is ridiculous.
So next week, Google I/O is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Although Friday, nothing will really be going on. Probably it's just developer sessions. It's in terms of our coverage. We'll be there Wednesday. Well, we get there Tuesday, but we'll be there Wednesday for Keynote and all that stuff. We'll probably be back there Thursday because there's going to be more stuff we need to get a hold of and look at and all that good stuff. Yeah, it should be fun.
It's gonna be
We'll
awesome.
try to do a show. We'll try to do a show, but I can't promise just because we're going to have terrible connections, I'm sure. So we'll try. We'll try to do like an I/O show, even if it's for like 20 minutes, just to like scream or something.
Just to say hi.
Yeah, just to say hi with our Google Glass or something.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you guys have a good time there.
Yeah, thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Hope your time sucks, guys.
Thanks, Ron.
Hope you don't get to try on glass.
Come on, Ron. It's not WWDC or CD or whatever the heck. It shouldn't be bad. I know that's the one you want to go to. It's not going to be that bad. All right.
I'm not really a developer. I don't want to go to any of them.
Whatever.
Plus, you only get free swag at the Google one, so that'd be the one to go to.
That's
This will be
true.
the year they won't. They'll just go, not here. Not
Yeah,
this.
there's nothing.
Yeah, I saw
Could
something.
you
that's
imagine if they
great.
did that so that next year was only developers that wanted to go because the people that want free swag don't go?
Yeah.
It actually becomes
Well, we'll
bad.
still go because we're dirty press and we want to cover that stuff. But yeah, it'd make tickets probably. No, they'll still sell out. Didn't WWDC sell out again in like 2 minutes or something?
Sold out in 90 seconds.
3 seconds.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
Yeah, which is crazy. It was 2 hours last year, 90 seconds this year. So,
Yeah, that's wild.
Next
Tickets
year
are
it'll
so
sell out
expensive.
before it goes on sale.
yeah.
That's crap. Actually, I/O is going to start doing that because I think if you have been going for years, they give you like a pre-order. Yeah, it's unfortunate. That's why tickets are harder to get, people.
How many
Right.
tickets do they have total for I/O? Do we know?
Probably like 2,500 to 3,000, I would think. Somewhere in there.
That's
I
it?
thought maybe a little more. I thought like 4,000 to 5,000, maybe.
Oh, really? I thought in total
WWDC
attendance there was only like
5,000.
3,000 people or something.
Yeah. Well, because they use the same place, right? They're both in Moscone, right?
Moscone.
Moscone.
Yeah.
Same-
Well, I don't
same
know.
thing.
I guess we'll get some numbers.
Yeah, for some reason I thought it was like 45 to 5.
I thought it was smaller than that.
We'll find that out too. We'll ask Matthias that too.
Hey,
Matthias, we got 3
Matthias!
questions for you. 4 questions. Hollow or what is it? Hollow or
Halo.
hello?
Oh.
MIUI or
Babel, Babel.
MIUI? Babel, Babel.
Yeah. And how
Where do
many
you get
people
your
are
picks?
here?
Hangout or hung out?
Hang out or wang it.
And do you use Bang with friends? Okay, let's do that. All right, guys. We'll see you hopefully next week. We're Droid Live.